everyone, I am Andrea, I'm the guy that is updating this map, and I made this video to explain the reasons that made me thought that something was hit, that something was not hit, and that something was maybe hit, maybe not. I was uncertain. First of all, how I put the labels. There are green labels for the things that 100% are not hit and are possibly even in operational state, as you can see from the images. I put these otherwise orange, or in this case yellow markings, where I think that explosions were hits. So some missiles exploded and thus at least were hit by some rockets, some of these Tomahawk missiles. Instead, these blue markings here are put on some structures that I'm not sure whether these were hit or not, but there's some evidences that may suggest it was hit, but it's not enough for my personal opinion to say that these were reliably hit. First of all, I must point out that I'm nobody. I'm just a regular guy making this for fun, to spend my free time. So I'm not an expert on this subject. I don't want it to be trusted like a real expert, because I'm not. And this explains why in some cases for example in this case, United States say that they hit this one, but for me it's not enough to say it was reliably hit. So I guess you can understand how I worked. The second thing I must point out is that the image you see in the background from Google Earth is a very old one. It's from 2014, so all the things you see around possibly got moved, because more than 3 years spent. Then these lines you see around are to give you some references. This is a 100-meter line, so you can understand better the distances between the objects around the airbase. The airbase has this orientation. This is north, south, east and west. It has a single runway. This is the runway. This is only a taxiway, not a runway. And it has two major areas with shelters, this one here and the one right there instead. Plus some structures on the northern side. In the southern area there are little to no buildings. Let's start from this area here. First, I will show you this zoomed out image. It's taken from a video released from Russian Ministry of Defense. It's a drone and it seems to be infrared image. So the white spots are presumably fires. And here, if you have a look at all the white spots here, they have exactly the same pattern, these three here and these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the arrows of the shelters in this area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and these three there. Plus there's this single spot here. That's it, this one here. This is the runway, for give you an idea. So let's start from this shelter here. Here I don't know if it is hit or not, because there are not enough images, rather than there's only this one, and for me it's not enough. Maybe there was something on fire, but I don't know, not enough for me. So I put the blue one. Here, again, I have this image here that I've already shown you, plus there's this one here, in which this company here, ImageSat International, say it is hit, but honestly I can't see damage, so I won't say it is hit. This one here, we have this image from United States in which they say it was damaged, so it was hit, but honestly I don't see much damage around it. Neither here I can see much damage. Of sure, in this image here it seems to be something on fire, but I don't know. It was not enough, so I put the blue mark. This one here, we start to get the first hits. We have, of course, this very same image in which you show much more white areas, so possibly a bigger fire. And if you see the other footage, this is the same drone in the same video, but this is not infrared image. So you don't see the fires, but you see smoke coming from it and going with the wind. Here it's this one, and in United States say that they hit it, and there's a lot of damage in front of it and the back side of it, so definitely it seems to got hit. Here another source that is saying it was hit and damage in front of it and in front of it and in the back side of it. These arrows are supposedly pointing at some planes, but because there are no close-up images, no zoomed-in images, I can't say whether these were planes or not, so I didn't put planes there. And this is the shelters which I'm speaking about, and from the front side you can't see much damage, but you can see the walls. Here it seems there was some fire, so the walls turned black, like here, and like you will see in many other cases. This image is important because it shows you that from a single perspective it's very hard to say if something was hit or not. You won't say probably it got hit from this image, but if you see this one and the previous one, you will definitely say something got hit. So don't stop after a single image. Here, this one here definitely hit, possibly a hole in the top of it, a crater, I don't know. Here, damage in front and in back side of it. And again, here is the one. This one got the doors shut closed, so we can't see inside of it. This one has no doors, and there is this black smoke, signs of black smoke that came out. These images, this one and the one I've shown you with this one here, were shot from the top of this shelter here, from here, pointing right there. Then I'd like to move to this point here. As I've said, here, I don't know, it's something at the end of the runway that seems to be on fire. I was actually very skeptical about this one, but then I found some other images. This video here is a whole video. I gave the link so you can have a look at the whole of it, not just this single screenshot, in which you can see a lot of rubble here, little debris, not huge pieces of concrete, but like if something happened in the ground, in the grass right there. These with the blue arrows are the shelters that you see here. So the camera was here and is pointing in this direction, and possibly these three spikes here, these structures here, are the structures that are present here at the end of the runway. So something here possibly got hit, but again, not reliably, so I can't say, so I put the blue mark. Then we move to something that got hit 100%, and it's this one here. This one I started from this image, and it was very hard to understand in the first place, but then I looked at these small houses in the top of it, and there are only two shelters with these structures. Then I saw that the other one has a different shape of the structures, so definitely it was this one here. So possibly again it's in this area, so possibly it's this one on fire. And here you see the structures that have the exact same shape of the previous image of this one here. This image is possibly that it was taken from outside the airbase, because you see that here is a small town, so maybe taken from around here, zoomed in there. Definitely hit because the walls are all black from smoke. This one here was pretty easy to geolocate. Here we have a whole video, it's pretty long, and you see some planes burned down inside. So here is a still from the video in which you see the planes burned inside, and you see some pieces of steel. These are probably steel reinforcing bars coming from the top, so in both sides, so possibly two hits, but 100% sure that at least one was hit. And here, this is an image, you see the number 3 and number 4. Again, here you won't see much damage, but again, as I clearly showed you, there's a lot of damage. This is taken from the top, and here you see a hole. So definitely suffered damage here with two planes that got destroyed. Then we can move here, and here, this one was a tricky one. I found it just recently, and this is the video which I've taken the screenshot from. Here you can see numbers 1 and 2. So, if you use your brain, where can possibly be located number 1 and 2, whether not next to number 3 and 4? So either this one or this one is number 1 and 2, because maybe they're starting from here and moving right there, or maybe starting from here and moving around like this one. Then I saw some other evidences. Here is a lot of damage evident, 100%, and here you see a hole in the top, and here is a plane that got burned down. These are the shelters in this area of the airbase, are these one here, that are seen from here, from this area here. And here you can clearly see that this this area here, where the planes are able to maneuver, clearly has this shape here. So it has a road on the left side here, but not on the right side. And here you see that it has a road on the left side and not on the right side, while instead here it has a road on the right side and a road on the left side, so it couldn't have been this one here. So this one, there are multiple evidence suggesting me it's this one here, like this one, like the fact that there is this small house here, and the fact that probably these are planes. If you actually look at the whole video, you get a better idea. Here you see some reflections of sunlight, so possibly these are the planes that are parked on a runway. This one here. These are not operative planes. These are parked here since years, so were just scrap metal led to rust. And here, this is possibly the small house with the tree that you can see in this image. So reliably, I would say that this one got hit and that possibly even a plane got damage inside of it. Then I'd like to move the other shelters first, then we can go to the other structures and start from this area here. This is a whole area that it seems it didn't suffer any damage. So possibly was not even targeted in the first place. Here you see no infrared traces of fire. Here the same, no signs of fire, no signs of damage. So untouched. And here you have multiple images showing little to no damage, even showing planes taking off, planes being started, like in this one here. Then we move to this other area here, where major damage was actually caused. Here you have an image from above, from satellite. Here, 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 these are the three ones. This got totally destroyed. This was suffered major damage, and these got damaged too, even if here in the United States official image they don't say it is hit, but you will see that here there are traces of fire. This one, in this shelter here, there are traces of fire, while instead this one and this one are totally burning. Here, let's start to go more zoomed in. You see totally destroyed one. There's nothing more. So here a major explosion must have took place. Instead here it suffered a lot of damage. You see a hole in the top, fire coming out from the hole, and inside a lot of damage, really a lot of damage. And here you see bombs dropped inside of it. So it's pretty likely that it didn't got destroyed totally, that these bombs didn't start exploding all at the same time, I guess. That maybe is what happened here that caused this major explosion. Here instead they point out at two possible holes in the top. Here maybe you can see some kind of shadow, but not reliably, so this video is pretty bad actually. Only the infrared frames are pretty useful because they show fire, but otherwise it's pretty useless. Here we have other images coming closer. Here you see a lot of damage objects in front of it, here and even inside of it, so possibly those got actually hit. And here seems like there were some pieces of steel coming off from the roof that are visibly nodal. In some other shelters, signs of clearly hit. So my personal idea is that this area probably was not used for aircraft storage, rather was used to store the bombs. Here we have also two more hits, here one and here another one, that were struck on some equipment that you see from this image. Here you see the two hits in a better way. Then I can move to this hit here. Here is a minor hit, actually, seems that I only hit the taxiway. Here is the journalist pointing at it, and here is the same shelter. It's this one here, so it's located there. Here again 100 meters of distance. So a possible hit here, but actually I'm not sure if a Tomahawk can create such a small hole. But they say this Russian television said it was hit, so maybe. Then I can move in this area here. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 shelters. Please remember these numbers, as this will be useful later. Here they say that they hit number 1, 2, and 3, but not number 4. Here you don't see any kind of visible damage, but actually they suffered major damage, as you can see from these images. Blackened walls, and here a lot of damage. Here please have a look at this very one, because I want to point out, I need to point you out that all these shelters had these these are small escape hatches, like with a small stair going on the top, just an access route to the top. So when we will look later at some thermal footage, you can clearly see that there are these small escape hatches, these small holes, and then some big craters created by the rockets, by the missiles. Here a lot of damage. Here, this is the fourth one, you see blackened walls. Here you see a thermal image in which all the four ones, 1, 2, 3, and 4, seems to be on fire. This one seems to be in a lot of trouble, a lot of fire in front of it. These are the areas that I've just shown you earlier. But actually, let's move in a zoomed in image. Here again, you see a pretty big hole, if you can say it a hole from this image, but you won't actually be able to say that it is a hole, and a lot of damage in front. These are the same images, you see a lot of damage, probably something inside, I don't know, I can't say if these are planes, so I won't say it. Here is the hole, and here is the rather small ladder going to the top. Here you see it's this one here. A lot of damage, definitely a lot of damage. Here we can move to this other one, and here from this video, again I said it earlier, poor quality, you can't say if something is hit or not from this video itself. You can actually try to see 1 and 2 holes, but it's pretty low definition, low resolution, so you can't really say. But you can see these 2 little structures made with some barrels filled with sand that you can see here and here. Here is only 1. Here, and 1 and 2, and here you see some more in a better view of the blackened walls, so definitely something got hit. This is the one with the 2 structures with the same burn pattern, with 2 planes inside burnt down, and possibly you can see roof damage here and there. So possibly the first image showed actually 2 impact holes, 2 craters and 2 holes. Here is one of the holes. Here you see these structures with some sandbags and these barrels. Here 2 definitely big holes in the top. This is one of them. These are not small enough to be the small stairs I've already shown you. These are definitely the holes caused by missiles. This one, again, you won't say any damage suffered from this image, but let's see. It's this one here. You see blackened walls. We start to zoom in, more black walls visible. Here, it's this one, black walls, this truck here, the structures on it, and inside there's something damaged. It's a plane. There's a hole, as you can see the sunlight coming from it. Here, a hole. Here is another image, and here you see the big hole. It's a very big hole compared to the small arches, the small ladders that are other way visible. Here again the hole. These are the structures you see in the top of it. This one here. And then we can move to this shelter here. This one again, it's this one here. This image is taken from here where you can see these planes, but again these planes are here to get rust. They are not operational planes. They never moved for over 4 years. Is this one here. You can see black walls with the same pattern, the same dark area and the same bright areas. So it's definitely this one here, and this one with a zoomed in image. And here you can maybe see a plane inside. Not sure, but if you see this image, definitely a plane inside of it got burned down. This is a thermal image. Here you see it's infrared, this WHT/HOT, and you see some traces of fire. Here the same, you see traces of fire. Here maybe, I don't know actually if these are I can't really tell from this image if this is the hole or this is the small stair, but actually you see that it must be a hole. So possibly this is the small stair and this is the hole instead of the roof. A missile hit here, here a missile, and here a stair, the stairs to get on the top. Here are the stairs and here are the holes. Stairs, hole, hole, and here you can see actually the stairs. Stairs, hole, hole, and the stairs must be some here, some around here. And the holes are 100% because look at the damage inside. Then this image, actually, if you look through these shelters here, and you see this one here and the other ones in the foreground, these are actually this one here. This is the first one, and these one are the ones in the foreground. In the background, sorry, definitely. Definitely some areas that were hit. Then I can move to this little area here, of which I have 3 images. This one is infrared and it seems something is on fire. This is not infrared and I really can't say if something was damaged. And here again infrared and it definitely seems on fire, but not reliably, so I can put a label hit on it. Then let's move to the other structures in the northern area, starting from here. This area was actually hit by multiple rockets, as you can see. Definitely 1, 2, 3, and 4, 100% hit. And this, the 5th one, I'm not actually sure. Maybe was hit, maybe not. Definitely the building didn't collapse, but there seems to be some dirt around it, so possibly the missile didn't hit it directly. Not actually 100% sure. And in this image you see definitely 4 white spots, so 4 distinct fires. Maybe the 5th one was already out, extinguished, or maybe not. We don't know. Definitely at least 4 hits. Then I can move to this area here. These small mountains are actually used to store ammunition inside. And from these images, I haven't. These blue circles are not made by me, but by an international company. I used their image. This is the before and this is the after. You can see much clear damage, but definitely here I would say that at least this one got hit and has this very same dark area around it. Possibly even this one, but this one definitely. And also if you look at the thermal image, in this area, northern than these 4 fires, there was something on fire. So maybe it's this one, but I'm not 100% sure that it's exactly this one here, but possibly something here got hit. Then we can move to this one. This is a fuel storage area. Here you can see two separate fires. This one here is the first image. This one's taken after. This is also after the airstrike, but this is the previous one to this one. This is later in the day. Here you see a lot of trucks. Probably they are trying to save the little fuel that was left. I don't know. Here you see that two things got burnt down. This one is about 60 meters wide, so it's, I don't know, I never seen a tomahawk explosion, so I can't really say if one tomahawk can create damage to this one and also this one, but it seems that this one was damaged, the middle one not, and this one yes instead. So possibly two hits, definitely two things on fire. Then we can move to the fuel storage area again, another one. I'm not 100% sure that this is the thing on fire. Maybe it was something a little more around here, but something got hit definitely here. A huge fire. Then move to these three separate objects hit. This line, let's see how long is this one. I think I have, no, I'm sorry, give me 1 second, definitely not this one. It's this one here. So this is definitely 72 meters between the two targets, so I think it's pretty unlikely that a single hit can cause damage to three, so likely 3 single missiles hit, and it's this one right here, and the other two are the other two, 1 and 2. Then I also saw some more images like these from ImageSet International, which they say these are the 3 objects that got destroyed, the 3 fires. And here again the 3 fires from another perspective. But I also managed to find from this video other cool images like this one and this one. This is a satellite image, of course, and here you can see these round structures that is right here, this one here. There is a truck like here. Here is a small dry wall going along this road, and here you can see the wall going along the road, and here is the object that got destroyed. Possibly it's an anti-aircraft stuff, something for anti-aircraft. Here, here, and here. Then let's move a little. Here, 2 separate objects got hit, 1 and 2. They are about 50 meters distant from one another. Here 1 and 2. This company here says that these are anti-aircraft equipment, anti-aircraft vehicles, either missile launchers, either radar structures. Here again, fuel storage area that got destroyed, got hit. I would say from the damage before and after that here at least 2 missiles must have hit this area, because I think I can see 1 crater here and maybe 1 here. A lot of fire. And let's see if I have skipped something. I don't know, I think I've shown you pretty much everything. There are these 2 separate images that I found after I've made almost all my map, and they give an idea of which structures were hit, but some of what they call hit I don't call hit, so don't use them as 100% correct. And here again they say the name of the structures that were hit. So I hope it was enough. I hope I did explain enough. And the main reason for which I made this map is that actually I wanted to try to refute this claim here, because Russian said that only 23 missiles out of the 59 fired hit the airbase. But actually, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, it's definitely more and some of these are multiple hits, so I must add one more here, one more here, one more here, more here, so it's definitely more than the 23. If any other image, I would able to find any other image, I would update the map constantly each time I find more images, so I will link the video, the new video explanation every time right here in the middle of the map. Hope it was helpful enough, and I hope, as you clearly see, English is not my native language. I'm pretty struggling to make this video. Hope you can listen and understand. Thanks.